come to me with all sorts of problems, to be honest. Single mums who, they're on their own and they don't have support in the community because they're on their own, they've lost their partner, they feel anxious. They actually need a little bit of guidance as what to do with their finances, how they get child support through the Centrelink or through, I don't know what's the world calls it, but payments to help them through this time. Sometimes they're too scared to reach out to their family. They feel ashamed. They feel anxious. They feel stressed. They don't know what to do. It's easier for them to come to me because they can then, just let off their steam, their anger with what's happened. Some of them are very teary because life hasn't gone the way they thought it would go. But, I reassure them that, hey, it's going to be okay.
Hey, and welcome back. It's Pat Mesede's Best-Selling Author Podcast. And are you the kind of person that struggles with money, is stressed about money, or wants financial freedom? Well, we're in exactly the right place because we're speaking with financial coach Louisa Rovetto, who is a co-author with Pat Mesede in the recent book, Live with Purpose. And Louisa is going to tell us about how there is hope for us, about how there are options, choices, a bright future for us, and we don't have to let money be this thing that pulls us down and ruins our life. It can be something that enhances our life, gives us happiness, fulfillment, so much more. So we're going to find out about some tips, tricks, and advice directly from the source, Louisa Rovetto. How are you today, Louisa?
How are you, Robert? Nice to see you today.
I'm very nice. Yeah, nice to see you too. I just took a really quick nap just to be recharged. Right before I lay down, I saw someone who posted a video that said something like, are you afraid to check your bank account? It's kind of like being afraid to step on a scale. Like the problem's still there, but we just have all these kind of emotions wrapped around money where we're even just afraid to even confront the problem, and it won't go away. And if anything, you ignore it, the problem might be worse later on. So let's change some lives, right? Let's get people thinking differently, thinking better. So what do you have to say for us as far as just the problems you see out there in the world, and what solutions do you provide?
Yeah, I have people come to see me about all sorts of problems, like even like tax problems. They've received a letter from the tax department and they don't know what to do. They're stressed out. One lady came to see me and she was homeless and she had a 9-year-old daughter, and she said, I've got this letter from the tax office. I've got no idea what's going on. I can't deal with it. I can't even talk to them on the phone because I'm so upset. And basically, I do, get her in a better state. I offer her a cup of tea. She comes in and we just discuss what she might think it is. And the alternative is to give them a call. And I advocate for people. So they come and see me, and when they can't handle their situations, it's too much for them. So I advocate for her, and we called the tax office, and it was a simple 2008 tax return she hadn't completed. It was that easy. But she was overwhelmed. And then by the end of it, took about an hour, but by the end of it, she was happy. She walked out and she was so grateful. I'd helped her out, and yeah, it's really, people should come and see me, come and talk to me. There's always a way to look at your situation in a different way. If you get a letter from the bank, you've missed your mortgage repayments. Don't worry about that. You're not going to lose your house. You need to talk to the bank. A lot of people are too scared to call the bank. They get these letters, they think the bank's going to sell the house. No, they don't. You've got more asset in your house than you have your actual loan. And people don't understand that. When they come and see me, we can do a letter to the bank. I can sit down with the client, discuss all the options, and then they understand that they're not going to lose their home. So it's good.
I think so. There's other alternatives compared to just this black and white thinking, right? It's easy to think like, oh, it's the end of the world, I'm losing everything. But you're saying that it really helps to not confront these problems on our own, to get some outside help, and even just like calm down, relax, take some time, explain your problem. And then many money situations are you either maybe there's some kind of just something that needs to be fixed, cleared up, maybe you didn't
Yeah.
fill in some kind of form, or you need to just establish some kind of communication, and the world is not out to get you, and there are things that can be done. And so as far as to give us an idea of what you do, like, is there like a pie chart or a certain percentage, like who comes to you as far as like miss the payment, who comes to you as far as like the tax issues, like what are the various problems
Well,
people come to you with?
well, people come to me with all sorts of problems, to be honest. Single mums who, they're on their own and they don't have support in the community because they're on their own, they've lost their partner, they feel anxious. They actually need a little bit of guidance as what to do with their finances, how they get child support through the Centrelink or through, I don't know what's the world calls it, but payments to help them through this time. Sometimes they're too scared to reach out to their family. They feel ashamed. They feel anxious. They feel stressed. They don't know what to do. It's easier for them to come to me because they can then, just let off their steam, their anger with what's happened. Some of them are very teary because life hasn't gone the way they thought it would go. But I reassure them that hey, it's going to be okay. You can be okay. There's step-by-step guidance on how to achieve your goals. We look at the income that they have. We look at all their expenses, and we make a plan for their future. And it's that simple. But at the time, all they do is they have a lot of fear. They have a lot of anxiety. They're really stressed. They can't cope on their own. But when they come and see me, it's single mums. It can be somebody that has got a mental health issue. One of my clients has got schizophrenia, and he panics about everything, and he doesn't know who to talk to. A lot of people don't know his mental health issues. He's on a disability, and he has got income, but he's not sure how to deal with it. He's not sure how to deal with the letters that come in from the ATO. He's not sure how to deal with bills, how to manage his finances. So he can come to me, we have a chat, and I just say, okay, what can I help you with? And he'll let me know, and we go through slowly, and I reassure him that everything's okay. And sometimes that's all he needs is reassurance, positive reassurance. So I get a mix of all sorts of people that come in. It's everyone. People that have money, people that haven't got money, people that need someone to talk to, people that need guidance, people that need to understand how to set a goal. Some people don't know they don't know what the goal is. Had a lady come in and she said, I get this money. At the end of the week, I don't know where that money's gone. I said, well, maybe you need to write down every day where you spend your money. Slowly, the next week she came in and she gave me a list of where the money went to. And then I said, now, is there any reason why you spent this money here or this money here? Because it turned out she had a gambling problem, and that's where I was going. So different people with different issues, they probably don't realise that, gambling is a problem. People that drink a lot obviously spend a lot of money on alcohol. Well, that's going to be a problem if you're not paying your bills and you're spending money on alcohol. And we look at the whole lifestyle. I look at their whole lifestyle with them, and they're honest and frank with me. If they're not in the first meeting, they will in the second. The second time they come, they'll more relax and say, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to look at where I want to be and what I want to do. So it's a variety of people.
Okay, and you're a problem solver, and it seems like sometimes these problems can be a death by a thousand cuts. It can be just that someone's so busy, overwhelmed, dealing with the day to day that they don't realize some of these kind of simple facts and truths. And something as a simple exercise, which I mean, we should all do that every now and then, right? We should all be writing down where's my money going every day, just to catch the money leaks. Doesn't matter how much money you have. There's always little things that you can notice and observe. And so it seems like a helpful kind of a step-by-step plan for someone is find someone like you, have a conversation, get the emotions out, because maybe they're just like not even dealing with that, stuck in the cycle. But then once the panic and all that's taken care of, at least temporarily, at least long enough to think a little bit, you say, what's the goal and what's stopping me from getting there? And what can I do as far as getting to that goal to then fix my situation? And like, I love some of the cutesy phrases, right? Because it's easy to get stuck in the numbers and the calculations and the science. And sometimes, and one thing I heard once was like, tell your money where to go. And if you don't tell it where to go, it'll just wander off in all sorts of places and you'll wonder where it went. And so, as far as kind of calming the nerves and helping
Yeah,
people get back on track, get a plan, do you have
yeah.
any of those cutesy phrases, or have you heard anything that has helped out?
I've said to people, um, usually it's their own fears, their own fears, their own anxieties. Once people know where they want to go, I can help them plan where they want to go. I had a friend I used to know, and she's actually sent me a testimonial, which I'd love to share. And
Yes.
her testimonial is, in a challenging time as a sole parent facing financial struggles, Louisa empowered me to believe in myself. Her unwavering encouragement and guidance enabled me to re enter the workforce and purchase a home, providing this much needed stability for my children and me. I'm deeply grateful for her invaluable support, without which these achievements would not have been possible. So that's what I can share with everyone. And many times over, I've helped people in my lifetime. And from a very young age, I learnt how to be independent. So my childhood is pretty simple childhood. We came from Sicily. My mum and I travelled together to Australia when I was 4 years old. And my dad had already lived here for 1 year in Australia. And he had set up somewhere for us to live. And so when I came, I didn't understand English. My mum and dad couldn't read or write English. And so when I was about 8 years old, as I was going to school, I was teaching them how to speak English. And I was teaching them names of things around the house. And I remember teaching them the days of the week and what was going on. And then mum and dad used to say to me, we've received this letter. Can you read it? Tell us what this is about. So from a very young age, I was reading all the bills, all that what was going on with their financial life. And I was involved in solving my parents' problems because they couldn't read English, I couldn't write. And then at the age of 12, I actually wrote my first contract. So my mum and dad had a rental property and they wanted me to write a rental agreement. At the age of 12, I wrote down what the rent was per week, what the name of the tenant, what was expected from the tenant, and that they would agree. And this is my first contract when at the age of 12. Now, my dad was really strict and we did live in fear. My dad did like to control everything and everyone in the family. He controlled the money. So mum was subjected to some, I guess, financial abuse and domestic abuse. And I saw that and I didn't want to live in that environment. So when I was 16, I started to save for my first car because I just wanted to get out of there, get out of that environment, which I knew was toxic. So at the age of 18, and it will be in my book, all about what happened. And I'd just like to say that search for independence. Look for your own financial independence. Don't depend on anyone else. Have a little savings account. Achieve your goals. Always strive. Have a focus on your goals. You know, at the age of 14, I received a book from the Reader's Digest, and it was a book about the Grand Canyon. When I got this book, I thought it came from God. I never ordered this book. I used to go through the pages and I used to look at all the pictures and I'm like, oh, I really want to go to the Grand Canyon. I was reading all about the Grand Canyon and I really wanted to go. This is what I really wanted to do. So 10 years later, I actually went to the Grand Canyon. I did a trip to America. I went to the Grand Canyon. I went to Las Vegas. I set myself the goals. I had big dreams. I didn't want to live in a toxic family or with any toxic partners. I wanted to achieve my goals and my dreams. And I wanted to live my life financially stable and independent. And I want to teach that to the world. I want to teach that to people. How you can do that. It's something that you need to focus on. It's something that you need to look at money as a bucket of water. You've got a big bucket of water, and you need to, some of that water you need to drink. Some of that water you need to wash. Some of that water you need to clean the house. So that bucket of water has to do a lot. And that's what money is. Money is like a water. You need to do different things with it. And you need to learn and educate yourself. If you don't know how to educate yourself, come and speak to me. I will tell you how to get your financial life in order. So that's what I'd like to share.
And it's a wonderful message that we need to use that, put that bucket of water to good use. We need to love learning, we need to have fun, we need to help others, we need to be independent, we need to focus, we need to have goals. And something that is coming to mind as you're mentioning some of this is how, like, number one, it's sometimes easier to help others than help ourselves. And that's why it sometimes helps to go to some kind of outside party like yourself. And then, you've mentioned a few times here about like friends and family, and that can be really tricky when you're saddling friends and family with your problems. We've all had people like that in our lives where like they do nothing but complain, and then you want to help, but you're like too close to it. And then money and friends and family gets really tricky also, doesn't it? Like sometimes they say like never lend family money, never rent a house to a family member, because then it's like a weird relationship. And so all that just tells me how important it is to sort of go to a financial therapist, so to speak, such as yourself. So that way you can work on the problem with a stranger. And then that way, when you go back to your friends and family, now you don't have to ruin or destroy that sort of a relationship. And so, you mentioned a few times here about goal setting. And is there what are people missing with goal setting? Do people set like bad goals? They don't have them. They don't do it seriously. Like, what do we need to know today about setting better goals?
Well, when somebody comes to me and they say they want to save money or they want to have a savings, first of all, we go through the list of where the money's going and how, where can we get more money from all your expenses. So we actually look at everything. We do a deep analysis of where their money's going. Maybe they're paying too much insurance. Maybe they're paying too much on their phone plan. Maybe they're paying too much on utilities. We actually dive in to where the money is going and where we can then save money. Can we save money? Can we do a review on your car insurance or house insurance or any of the insurances that you pay? Because they seem to be going up every year. Everything just keeps going up, and people are not reviewing all these insurances, all their phone plans, all the utilities. They're not reviewing any of these. They just keep paying out. And they think, oh, where's all my money gone? Subscriptions. They even going to the gym. There could be a cheaper gym around the corner, but they go to the same gym and paying a lot of money, and they could be reviewing every aspect of their life as to where they could find some money and pull that out and save that, and then make a goal. And their goals could be they want to go on a holiday. They'd love to go on a holiday, but they can't save for a holiday. Why is that? So we look at where we can find money to put towards that holiday. And that's how we plan it.
Wonderful. You make it sound so simple, and it can be simple as long as we have your help and get out of our own head. And so you're saying it's important to figure out where you're at, what's your financial situation, money coming in and going out. And what you're mentioning there about reviewing, years ago, I didn't take it seriously. And now me and the wife just kind of revisit once a month. And every month, I would say that we cut about $200. And I do some of these things that you're mentioning. I say, hey, this subscription, I could pay this thing yearly instead of monthly. Auto insurance, so I switched to one of those. Health insurance, got it down a little bit. And what prevented me at first was saying, oh, it's not that much. But when it's every single month and it's cutting, plus what you just mentioned there of ignoring it, and they keep on kind of inching things up by 5-10% every year. And then after a while, you're like, whoa, it was like the frog in the boiling pot of water, right? They didn't notice it at first, and then it's just suddenly overwhelming. So it's time to take the control back and to maybe be proactive about some of these problems. And so we have a limited time, but it's been so far a lot of fun kind of getting a peek, a glimpse into what you do. And in our last few minutes here, Louisa, I want to make
Yeah.
sure that we're covering the bases. So is there a missing hidden question in our conversation? Is there something that you really wish that I would ask you about yourself, your process, your solution? What am I not asking you?
I guess I think it's empowering. It's empowering people, empowering individuals. How do I empower someone, individuals, to learn about money? And when you empower individuals with knowledge about life and about money, you become a stronger person. You become a wiser person. You become independent and free. Get empowered
Okay.
by learning about money and learning how to control and focus on your goals. That's what I could give to individuals.
Wonderful. So we need to
Yeah.
use our imagination for good instead of bad. We need to focus, get our money right, get those goals figured out. And how does someone do that? If someone says, what Louisa here has said as far as the advice, it's great. As far as the stories of who she's helped, that's wonderful. How do I know if I'm someone that Louisa can help, and what's the next step if I want to contact her?
Yeah, well, I've got a website and there's a book that's come out. Live Your Best Financial Life is my website name, and I can help people through email as well. Louisa Rovetto 25@gmail.com. So they can email me. I've got a phone number I can give out. People can contact me. I work in the community at the moment. So where I live at the moment, I volunteer time in my community. And I've been on the radio, so people get in touch with me once they hear me on the radio. I've also been in the local newspaper to reach out to people to contact me. So I'm available to people on Zoom. So the accessibility is there. So yeah, reach out.
And what is the cost for this sort of thing? Is like the initial Zoom free, or like what would people be paying as far as the service?
Absolutely. There's a 15-minute Zoom which is free, and then we will discuss where you're at and how much you'll need, how much time we need to invest. There's also a program I've set up to teach you, which is Live Your Best Financial Life program. And that program is available for you as well. And I can go through that with you.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So liveyourbestfinanciallife.com. And do you mind saying that phone number? We'll put that in the description as well.
Sure. The email is Louisa Rovetto 25@gmail.com. So email me there and then we can do a Zoom call together, 15 minutes for free.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to get the mess cleared up, to get some of these problems solved, to get a few things figured out, so that way you can finally be stress-free. You can finally sleep at night. You can look forward
Absolutely.
to the days ahead. You can get your free time back. You don't have to worry about the letters coming in or the phone calls. You can say, hey, I've got this handled, and there will always be problems as long as we're alive, but now you can have a better handle on your problems with Louisa's help. And as people are going to liveyourbestfinanciallife.com, Louisa, I always like to end these sorts of conversations with a fun quote or lesson, just to kind of get us excited, inspired about the future. So what comes to mind for you as far as a fun quote or lesson?
Well, I think live your best financial life. Helping people has always been my life. So come on board and don't be stressed. Let's make it fun and exciting and stress-free, because I want to help you live your best financial life.
100%. It's a great phrase and a great goal to aspire to. Liveyourbestfinanciallife.com. We've been speaking with Louisa Rovetto, co-author of Live with Purpose with Pat Mesiti. Wonderful speaking with you, Louisa.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert.